Do you ever just feel like you want to play a class in a game that is synonymous with being a holy warrior that was chosen by that game's god itself and protecting the weak and innocent NPCs and having an insane level of self-righteousness? You? Oh no? No, me either. Yeah, no. Today, I want to go over Guardian in detail, and hopefully by the end of the video, you will have a better understanding of this class. And if you're new to Guild Wars 2, really the goal is to give you enough information so you can decide for yourself whether or not Guardian is a class that you should be playing in 2020 leading into 2021. And if you stay to the end of the video, you'll get some information on a giveaway that I am running on this channel happening that ends on December 25th. If you've seen some of my older videos or watched me stream Guild Wars 2 on Twitch/Keyba_ Monday through Friday, 9 p.m., then you'd be aware that Guardian is no stranger to me. I actually have close to 1,200 games in PvP alone on Guardian, and I have played Guardian in all three main game modes. And from my perspective, if I'm comparing Guardian to the other professions in Guild Wars 2, I would say Guardian is probably one of the more noob-friendly professions. And just as a reminder, all the information that I am sharing today is solely from my perspective in playing the class and playing all the other classes in Guild Wars 2. So the first thing I want to talk about with regards to Guardian is its unique class mechanic. These mechanics, or this, I guess, mechanic is called virtues, and you have 3 of them which are going to be on the function bar. These all have unique passive and unique active abilities. The first one is based around damage, second one is healing, and the third one is more of a utility. And when you activate them, one thing to note is that not only will you be affected by them, but so will your allies. These virtues alone make it really easy for a new player to come into the game and just work on learning the rest of the skills, because you really don't have to worry about keeping yourself alive whenever you have a passive that gives you healing every second. And I believe that with this combination of abilities, Guardian is probably one of the more durable classes in the game, despite the fact that it does have a lower health pool than some of the other classes, especially Warrior, which people like to make comparisons to. So save those repair canisters for classes that don't have as much leniency when it comes to playing them. Guardians also have quite a lot of AoE abilities and skills. In fact, every main hand weapon that you can wield as a Guardian has one unique symbol ability that you drop around yourself, and what this symbol does is it creates positive effects for you and your allies while creating negative effects for your enemies if they all stand in it. Additionally, you provide a light combo field with every symbol that you drop, which allows for even more support to your allies. And Guardian utility skills are no different, in all honesty. Most of the skills provide some sort of AoE benefit for your allies and some negative effect to your enemies. You have traps, mantras, consecrations, shouts, spirit weapons, meditations, and signets. Now, to give you a quick disclaimer, traps and mantras are only specifically tailored to those specializations such as Dragon Hunter and Firebrand, so you really can't use them as a core Guardian. However, it doesn't really matter, the rest of them are just as strong utilities. And if that's not enough for you, if you're just not satisfied with the amount of AoE pressure and support that you can provide to teams and enemies alike, you can amplify each of your passive abilities with the trait lines that Guardian offers. One can only imagine what a full Signet Guardian's true power really is when you trade it properly as well. So if you ever heard of the term or the meme Passive Wars 2, Guardian was kind of one of the reasons why that originated. So really what I'm saying is, if you just want to play something that has a very low learning curve, Guardian will be a great starter class for you, at least in my opinion. And yes, I know Guardian mains will probably get upset and offended. I am sorry. I know that there are Guardian mains out there who are very good in 1 versus 1 situations, or in like a DPS race, You know, there's obviously that 10% that's going to obliterate you even if you pick up the class as Guardian. You know, obviously that's only 10%, and everyone else, for the most part, can achieve the same level of skill in the same amount of time with this class. So before I get to the next point, I just wanted to take a second and ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment below if you find this information helpful or useful in any way, shape, or form. If not, obviously let me know that you don't like it as well. Any feedback is good feedback in my opinion, so definitely appreciate all of the support from all of you, and there are no hard feelings on this channel. So in terms of like endgame content, Guardian has impact everywhere in the game, in my opinion, and I mean everywhere. What's so unique about Guardian to me is the insane number of diverse builds that you can create that just happen to work because the trait lines are all very good in my opinion. I would actually consider every trait line at least an A tier trait. So it really doesn't matter how many times like a specific trait gets nerfed or a trait line gets nerfed or a specialization gets nerfed with Guardian, because when one build disappears, there's just going to be another one to take its place. And it doesn't really have the same problems like that, for example, you would say a warrior has, where at least in PvP, that class is either part of the meta or it's not, based on the specific nerfs that happen to that class. And I guess kind of on that same note again, that doesn't mean that you would be able to play the same role every single time. Like if a firebrand support gets nerfed, that doesn't mean that a Guardian support will take its place. Guardian could still be viable elsewhere, such as like a DPS or a side noting role. So take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, just to let you know, you really won't have to worry too much in the grand scheme of things. Many builds such as Harrier brand, Zeal brand, Symbol brand, Sage brand, you know, obviously regular Firebrand, and many others that I really can't think of off the top of my head, have been coined nicknames for each of the different builds that have been out there, especially in PvP. And just to further kind of showcase this and give light, an example is Fractals, which is one of the best money makers in Guild Wars 2 in my opinion, especially if you do your dailies. You can either play as a power DPS, a Condi DPS, a quickness support power, a DPS, and also a healing support, and nobody would complain. You can even go through all the builds on Metabattle yourself and see that virtually every trait line is used in all of these builds. The only one, obviously the exception, would be for Valor, and I don't think that's because Valor is in a bad state either, or a bad trait line. It's just that all the other trait lines right now are just so much better for the current metas in the game. But there are actually, if you were to do like a roaming Guardian class or just be a little bit more selfish, Valor is probably going to be one of the better trait lines for you to pick up still. I have a very close friend of mine that is a Core Guard main, and he swears by that trait line because it supports him and him alone. Ironically, that goes against everything a Guardian should be, but hey, to each their own. And there's no shortages of Guardian mains either. But even so, you will still have a spot anywhere on any team. You just look it up on LFGs, no one's going to bat an eye to have Guardians. In fact, the more Guardians, the better. I remember actually in a few of my World v World guilds, more Guardians were always in need when the game was a little bit more competitive. We just kept wanting to recruit Guardians and nobody cared. So all in all, yes, if you invest time in Guardian, you will be able to fit right into the endgame content without a problem. And until the other classes have as much like team support as Guardian does or utility, I don't think you will see Guardian die out or be replaced anytime soon. I will also give all of you the link to the Metabattle page and the Guild Wars 2 wiki down below so you can read up on what weapons you can use as a Guardian or what builds you can use in each game mode. And a link to all my other socials are down below. If you made it this far into the video, I am also running a giveaway for 800 gems. There's going to be a link to that video in the description below. And all you have to do is just comment on that video and like the video if you're already subscribed to be entered into the giveaway. The drawing will happen on December 25th, so entries are obviously going to be closed on the 24th of December. And with that, yeah, next week I will be making a video on breaking down the state of PvP currently in Guild Wars 2. So until then, see you next week.